party going on around town. It's one rowdy cowboy throwdown here in H-Town, where we're stronger than a hurricane.
What an outstanding competition.
From miles around, the best of the best come here to put their tough to the test. Give it all for gold or go home broke.
Holy smokes, that's a lot of horse.
Welcome to the show, welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up the night underneath that Texas sky.
Look at that.
Are you ready for a ride? Yeah, you better buckle up and hold on tight, where the Bayou City streets meet the country roads. Welcome to
A
the
hard
show.
running steer, but he handles it.
Welcome to the show.
That's perfect.
And here we go.
Hello, Houston. Are you ready? We're fixing to buck 'em and buck 'em hard, and you're going to love every minute of it. For those of you I haven't met, I'm Bob Tallman. My partners, Boyd Polhamus, Andy Seiler. 93 years of history. First performance, $2,533,000. Boys, Super Series #1 is going to give some young people an opportunity to do something they've never done before. Win thousands of dollars a minute.
Well, we are all blessed with a great clientele of rodeos, but this place is special, folks. There is only one Rodeo Houston, and it's an honor to be here. For example, just take a little peek into the competition tonight. Steer wrestling, you have the reigning world champion Jay Destructionist, along with a future Hall of Famer, 5-time world champion Tyler Wegesbach. And we've got talent like that throughout all the contests in our very first night.
Well, and you have to be invited to come to this rodeo, right? There's so many other rodeos you can enter, but here you have to be invited. And I'm looking for the invitation for Sam Peterson to pay off. He's got a roan horse from the Cervies called Ain't No Angel, and they've won some big checks inside this building. Sam's one to watch.
And we didn't even tell you about Stetson Wright and the bull riding. My gosh. Hey, folks, we're joined by the fourth member of our broadcast team. Let's say hello to Janie Johnson. Hi, Janie.
Hey, thanks, Boyd. So excited to be a part of the team. Right now, I'm set up on the rough stock end, but directly across the arena, they're about to start the tie-down roping. So my pick is a cowboy that knows how to rope under pressure. Just last year, Marty Yates got stuck in traffic here at Houston, decided to go ahead and saddle up his horse and ride down the highway just in time to win the round here at Rodeo Houston. He's never won this rodeo before. He's a 10-time NFR qualifier, and he is ready to rope tonight.
Oh, that's a good sneak peek right there. Let's take a look at our tie-down roping, the first contest of this night, sponsored by our friends at Boot Barn. Who are we going to show you? The guy that won it all last year. He had to beat his little brother in a rope-off to do it. Ty Harris of San Angelo, Texas, the defending champion at Rodeo Houston, and you will see him here to try to make it a back-to-back attempt. Here's who you'll watch in Super Series 1. Tyler Milligan is a past Rodeo Houston champion. Hunter Heron is one of the great veterans. And Kincaid Henry, he's a young gun with a quick draw, so it's going to be fun to watch.
First man to go, Cash Hooper, Pampa, Texas. And I think it's fitting that the first contestant to go this year at Rodeo Houston is named Cash, because that is how you advance out of your Super Series to make it to the semifinals. This young man's number 13 in the world, 21 years of age, an all-around hand from West Texas.
Kind of fitting we're in South Texas, Southeast, as they say. Got to go all the way to the Panhandle to the north for those of you maybe watching up there. He's been a champion in El Paso. That's close to home for him. Ooh, boy.
Got to get that calf standing back up. He does. But that calf kicking makes it difficult for him to finish the tie, Boyd.
Yeah, so one of the things that's difficult is to be the first guy to go. When you see your buddies out in the parking lot, they'll go, hey, when are you up? And you'll go, I'm next, which means I'm the first guy that has to go, which means he hasn't been able to watch the score, how far to let the calf out. And now the calf, I think, is going to kick free. So instead of being 10-7, It's going to turn into a no time. Now, in most rodeos, if you get a no time in one round, that's it, you're done. But not at Rodeo Houston. We don't have an average or an aggregate. It's based upon, as Andy pointed out with the wording of cash, how much money you win. So he's got 2 more shots to win big checks. So Cash still has a shot to move on. Let's go to Winter Springs, California for an all-around hand.
You couldn't have said that better, Boyd. All around, this guy can work 5 events. For those of you that are fans at Cal Poly, St. Louis Obispo, and all of the California colleges, Rushton Minton is 8th in the PRCA standings tonight. Last year he finished 7th in the all-around, 15th in the tie-down roping. 2023 was his first trip to go to Las Vegas to the big show. Last year, Andy, he won 7 all-around titles.
Just split the win at Denver back in January. As he goes down the line, everything comes together, but again, another calf that kicks. And they're gonna tell us he also broke the barrier. So what does that mean? He did not give the calf the required head start. And when that happens, here's a great camera shot of it. We had 10 seconds.
So who said he broke it? The machine. Because either the calf is going to trip that barrier or that horse is going to trip, and you can tell by how it was tripped whether the horse got out too quickly, and that would have cost him the 10 seconds. So a 10-3 turns into a 20-3 for Rushton. Now this guy has given me 2 great memories at this rodeo. Tyler Milligan back in 2018 won Rodeo Houston. That's tough to do, okay? The next year he came back and he also won a hard luck award because the barrier line came back and hit him in the lip and nearly ripped off half his face.
I think he wants to forget that one.
I'll never forget it. I bet he never does either.
Boyd alluded to this a few minutes ago of how important it is to win Rodeo Houston. This year, it's extra money. Folks, $65,000 will be the payoff, not to include what Tyler Milligan could win tonight, tomorrow night, the next night. Super Series #1. Get to him, get him up, get him over, peg a string to the right front leg, get in a hurry. Ooh, he got a little dew claw on that. Right now, 12-2 still good, though, Andy.
Well, he broke the barrier as well. And I get it, because these first contestants are trying a little harder, right? They're pushing because they know the talent that comes behind them. There's another great camera angle as you see the rope still on the neck of the calf as Tyler comes across the line, and his horse kind of tried to park it there a little early too. 22-2, the total time for Tyler.
That's a great point you made, Andy, because when you're looking at these next 5 guys, Hunter Heron, Marty Hates, Kincaid Henry, oh my gosh, there's a lot of talent there. But they're making it easier for those guys right now because so far, anything under 20.3 would be taking first. Let's go to a 26-year-old cowboy who comes by it honest from Cotulla, Texas. This is Tanner Green, grandson of the great Phil Line, past champion of the National Western in 2024. Here you go, guys. That's what we wanted right there.
That's smart, Bob. That is so smart. Watch how far he lets this calf out to make sure he doesn't break the barrier.
He was a foot off the line, Andy. Good point made. I do believe 5 years ago when he was 21 years old, he was expected to be a superstar like his grandfather, the great Phil Line. And in the last 3 or 4 years, he's kind of settled down, come back into it, and goes to the lead in Rodeo Houston tonight with a 10.3. Beautiful move, Tanner. Your grandmother is jumping for joy on TV.
So we move now to another young gun. They just finished up with a rodeo called the Dixie Nationals in Jackson, Mississippi. And this cowboy won it. A standout high school basketball player, college national finals champ in 21. Macon Murphy, number 16 in the world. His calf kind of jumps a little bit at that barrier line. And now he's got to block him. Looks like a bronchier calf. A calf that's got a little more scrap in him than the previous one. Macon Murphy fights his way through it for a 12-9.
You talk about a family. I don't know how many of the members might be here. This is a family of ropers. He was the champion in your country, Andy, at Homestead, Florida, Magnolia, Sulphur Springs, White Sulphur Springs. That's a long ways away in the summertime, Labor Day in Montana.
Well, we
Got his
travel.
sister Josie that ropes. Wow.
We're going now from a youngster to a veteran. 40-year-old athlete from Apache, Oklahoma. Been to the National Finals Rodeo 14 times. Hunter Heron. So, over the next 3 weeks, we're going to pay out over $2.5 million. Hunter has won that over the last 2 decades. 10-2 doesn't scare him, and if he can tie one in 10-2, that would be no worse than third. As he holds the slack to try to make sure the calf's standing, and he is. Gather him up.
Everything he just did, Boyd, was a veteran. Ooh, that might be a little veteran pull right there.
So-
the calf doesn't give him a right shot. He knows how to rope him, what to do with him when he got on the ground.
I just look and I go, okay, Bob, you want to feel old? His son, Houston Ambrose, turned 21 in October. And I can remember when that kid was an infant at the National Finals Rodeo when Hunter was first qualifying for it 2 decades ago.
I can remember when Hunter Heron didn't shave every day. When you think about that, what an awesome man.
No time for Hunter. But now we go to Marty Yates. This is the young man that Janie was telling you about at the top of the show. 10 times to the National Finals for the 30-year-old from Stephenville, Texas, Marty Yates. He's eclipsed the $2 million mark over the past decade. Last year he won Logandale, Ogden, and Salinas. But he wants to add Houston to his resume. Bails off. Down the rope he goes. That horse is helping a little too much, but 9-7 is the fastest run we've seen so far in our first go.
All right, if you're going to talk about ages, what they can do, what the horse did, this guy did everything perfect, and he's old enough to know that when this horse, that ball-faced horse, goes to pull him back, you got to stay hooked. Don't quit, and he didn't.
Yeah, and now he's one roper away from winning the first round of Super Series 1 with that blazing 9.7. Let's go to a 23-year-old. He's 23, folks, and he's qualified for the National Finals Rodeo 3 consecutive years in a row. Now, why does that matter? You can't win a world championship in football when you go to the Super Bowl. You can't win a world championship in baseball unless you go to the World Series. So the National Finals is our championship event. He's only 23 years old, and he's played in 3 of them already. Kincaid Henry, Mount Pleasant, Texas. Little black bald-faced calf. Hold him low, tie him fast. Look out! 9-7 is never safe with Kincaid Henry in the corner of that box. Watch this. Holds his slack. Vaults his way to the calf. Blocks, flanks, screens, gathers. That's how you do it when you do it right. 9.5, and the 23-year-old goes to number 1.
Kincaid, it's all right if you smile. Yeah, let's look at it. Here was the first nod. That's what it looks like from inside the chute. There is the veteran at 40. This is what a perfect wrap looks like. 2 wraps and a half inch. All fit together. Tyler, good to have you back. Your time on the podium, and I hate to see that pain on Hunter Heron.
But here is how we stack up. Kincaid Henry at the top of that 9-5. That's $3,000. Followed by Yates, Green, and Murphy in round 1 of the tie-down roping for our first Super Series. As we say thank you to our friends at Boot Barn. They are bringing us the tie-down roping here on night number 1 at Rodeo Houston.
This is the Rodeo Houston Super Series. Here's how it works. We invite 40 of the top athletes in each of our 8 events. They're divided into 5 Super Series. Each one of those events is 3 rounds. At the end of the 3 rounds, the 4 highest money winners advance to one of our 2 semifinals. There are 10 athletes in each of the semifinals. We take the top 4 from semifinal 1 and semifinal 2 and advance them to the championship. The 6 that do not advance from each semifinal round get another chance. They'll go to one of our 2 wildcard competitions. The winner from each wildcard will advance to the championship. They join the others for a shot at the $65,000 with a total purse of over $2.5 million. That's how the revolutionary Rodeo Houston Super Series works.
It's gonna get wild when we come back. It's the bareback bronc riding next.
Hey folks, if you're 21 or older, pledge to rodeo responsibly as a Miller Lite designated driver. Scan the QR code and receive a complimentary fountain drink or bottle of water. Responsibility has its rewards. Always plan for a safe ride home.
Well, a big thank you goes out to our friends at Cavender's Boot City. They sponsor our hard-working arena crew. There they are, you see them now. Down in the dirt, behind and out in front of the chutes, making it all work behind the scenes.
Hey, captions are available on your mobile device at rodeohouston.com/captions, okay? If you can't believe what you heard, they'll spell it out for you. We'll make it easy. Just point your camera at the QR code on the center of the screen, and it will take you directly to our closed caption mobile app.
Look at the video screens. That is the Carnival Cruise Line Cowboy Cam. Bringing out the Wild West here inside NRG Stadium, and you are looking good.
He looks like he just got audited by the IRS. There you go. Oh, you're looking good.
It is a great-looking crowd for night number 1 of the 2025 rendition of Rodeo Houston, and there is more rodeo action coming at them. It is bareback riding time. Brought to you by our friends at Chevron. If you go back 1 year ago, who took the biggest paycheck? Leighton Berry. The Texas talent won this rodeo, giving himself another shot at qualifying to the national finals, and he'll be back to try and defend that said title, but he's got to go through a whole passel of great talent, including world champion Jess Pope. And look out for these youngsters up top. I like Cole and Wasey as well.
Well, that's easy to like Cole Reiner. The Wyoming Cowboy turned Texan to Cowman. This will be the freshman 15. From the Survey Championship Rodeo Company, nod, ride, spur, hit, kick, everything's happening perfect.
So there you go. So the one thing you have to understand right away is half the score comes from the horse and half from the cowboy. 1 to 50 on the horse for how hard he is to ride. 1 to 50 points on the cowboy for how well he rides him. Now watch how he turns his toes out. You see how he turns those toes out and drags those rolls up to the rigging? How about 81 points to set the pace for a guy who has had great success in this room in the past? Now let's go to a pup.
Yeah, 7 years younger than the middle-aged guy you just watched. The one and only, the newcomer, remember his name, Wasey Jala.
The Bandana Babe, another Survey horse, and a young man that has a shot at over $100,000. We're going to see Wasey in the bull riding as well. So this is one of the few athletes, possibly the only one, that could win a 6-digit payday from Rodeo Houston.
Plus, when he wins in the Super Series, he can live here with 150. They're going to mark him at 75 points on the Bandana Babe tonight. Andy, you watched him at your big rodeo at Caldwell win the all-around. That kid's something else at 19 years old.
Let's go to Queensland, Australia. That's where the Cowboy's from. Here's Straubs Jones. Apple Pie. That is a sweet little flaxen mane bucking horse. Maservi Company, Sage Allen had that horse about 2 weeks ago in San Antonio and marked 86.5 points. Now, why is that horse so sweet? Every jump looks like the one before it. No ducking, no diving, no swooping, just kind of going straight down the pen, being consistent. He'll move into the number 2 spot, the Riding Red from Australia, 79 points.
Put a little ice cream with that apple pie there, Andy.
Alamode. Here's one of the hottest men going up and down the road, Nick Pelkey. Mondovi, Wisconsin. He's number 2 in the world because of that top finish at Fort Worth where he was 91.5. Small town scandal. The gray horse staying close to the bucket chutes. But fellas, there's a little hitch there in the middle that kind of throws the timing off of this ride that really hurts.
Yeah, and if you and I saw it, chances are the guys that mark the numbers down see it. He starts off really good, Andy. You're right. Sitting in the middle, staring down the mane of that horse. But right around here, you see him get off his rigging just a little bit. See his feet drop? Now he's off his rigging a bunch. And he's got to fight his way on to the very end. And the score for the number 2 man in the world is only 69 points for my Badgerland friend.
Well, that $26,000 he just won in Dickey's Arena in Fort Worth, Texas is going to give him a shot to move into that top 2 spot. Let's go to Taylor Broussard. I got a pair of Cajuns coming at you. Esterwood, Louisiana, and the facelift. Oh, little duck dive right there. You want to put a little extra pressure on the guy's right hand. That horse got more fire than he needed.
Remember, Andy, Bob, we were talking about apple pie being sweet because every jump looked like the jump before it. Not so much with this one. Watch, and now the flank strap wraps around his neck and slaps him in the face. That's called the latigo. The latigo on the flank strap. When you hear Garth Brooks say spurs and latigos, well, that latigo just about hung him.
He just fired, and I'll tell you what, everybody in the Cajun land, be happy. He moves into the number 2 spot with 80.5. He's only a half point out of it. Now here comes his traveling partner, the other Cajun. These guys come to win some money.
I was about to say, from the crawfish farmer to the guy who never turns down etouffee. Waylon Bourgeois, Church Point, Louisiana. Love the name of this horse. Family Tradition.
So Mason Clements had this horse 2 weeks ago in San Antonio and marked 86 points on this horse in San Antonio. Now last year at Rodeo Houston, Caleb Bennett and Leighton Berry had this horse here, and they were both 83. So any of the scores that we've seen in the past in this room or in San Antonio would take the lead. It looks like we might be rolling from Waylon, though.
I thought they were going to roll him a minute ago. Horse jumped forward. We'll let Binion Servey make that decision. Now, a moment ago when you watched Taylor Broussard, he is currently ranked number 8 in the PRCA standings. His partner, Waylon Bourgeois. You didn't know I spoke French, did you?
I did not.
He is number 7 in the standings.
And I think we're leaving him sit for right now, Bob. I think we're moving up to Sam Peterson.
Good idea. Here's the good-looking Montanan.
Yeah, but here's the deal. The horse he's drawn is the horse Leighton Berry won this rodeo on last year on the final day with an 88.5 point ride. This is a horse called Ain't No Angel. The bloodlines from the Servey Circle Life bloodlines would go all the way back to a great mare named Roan Angel.
Is that her?
This horse has been featured at the National Finals Rodeo on several occasions. And Sam Peterson is just a young kid from the capital city of Helena, Montana, 21 years old, but he got 2 big checks at Fort Worth with an 86 and an 86.5. This was the ride that Andy referenced in the Open.
Seen this horse at least 15 or 20 times.
You're off my foot.
at events all across the country.
This is the only rodeo you're going to see where we've got mics on the chute. Get your foot up. Ride, Sammy, ride.
Super solid. Excellent work by Sam and the horse coming together. I mean, you could almost track that trip to be the exact one that Leighton had on the final day last year, Boyd.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Why is the horse so good? Watch the way the horse kicks out the back end. You see, the harder that horse kicks out the back, the more points that horse is earning from the judge. Now, how well does the cowboy stay on his rigging, drag his feet from the front of the neck to the rigging? Good enough to ride to number one, 21-year-old Sam Peterson, 86 points.
There is the smile of the 21-year-old. We called him a rookie a year ago. No more rookie. He's proved it in college. He proves it at Rodeo Houston. All right, we're backing down in. They're going to go to Jess Pope. And the Pope is about ready to pray over an 87 if he can make it work.
Those are not the same Popes, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, just a play on. God bless the Pope. Chicken blood. That's the name of this Survey Bucket horse. You're looking at the 13th ranked man, 3-time average winner at Vegas, and the world champion in 22, Andrew.
I don't know that there's a rodeo he hasn't won.
I just think it's ironic the same year he won Rodeo Houston in 2022 was the same year he won the World Championship.
Gave him the lead to go to Las Vegas, took the pressure off him, put it on everybody else.
He's going to go to number 2, 84 and a half, and the Pope has his prayers answered, Bobby T.
When you've won $1,400,000 in the last 6 years as a competitor, that's a smile we like to see, not a grim. All right, we're backing down to Waylon Bourgeois.
Look at that leaderboard. 86, 84 and a half, 81, 80 and a half. And as that horse, Chicken Blood, plays hide and seek from our pickup men. Yeah, that's the correct term for those riders out there. They're called pickup men. And they're going to try to herd old Chicken Blood back out. In the meantime, Waylon Bourgeois, the 25-year-old cowboy who played fullback at Notre Dame High School, Crowley, Louisiana. He just won, 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, the 154th Silver Spurs Rodeo in Kissimmee with an 85-point ride. Family tradition. Here comes Waylon Bourgeois. He's doing his part.
Look at his feet. They're on fire.
He's going to push that leaderboard.
Bet he is.
Well, this young man has dominated the Southeastern Circuit, but he wants everyone on the national stage to understand the talent and ability that he brings to this sport. How about we tie at the top? It is Montana and Louisiana. 86 points for Bourgeois.
That's the kind of fire it takes to start it off in Super Series number 1. For those of you that haven't figured out yet, we're going to do this 3 nights in a row. Same contestants, different horses. Here come your highlights.
They call it the most physically demanding sport in rodeo. You're taking 1,200 pounds of bucket horse at the end of your arm. Leather straps are slipping you in the face. Reiner thinks 81's okay, but will it be enough? Broussard gives way to Bourgeois. And Peterson with a kiss to the champions. And that's how they stack up. Bourgeois, Peterson, Pope, and Reiner. The Bareback Bronc riding on opening night and all rodeo long, brought to you by our dear friends at Chevron.
The pairs will come in next for the team roping when we return here in the Bayou City.
I want to say thank you to Houston Methodist, the official healthcare providers for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and supporters of Rodeo Houston Sports Medicine, caring for our rodeo athletes.
It's autograph time at the Fan Zone, presented by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Meet our Rodeo Houston athletes, bullfighters, Leon Coffee, Rodeo Royalty, and more in sections 103 and 124. You can also pick out a Rodeo Houston belt buckle.
Of course, we want you inside NRG Stadium, and you have the opportunity to come, so please come to every performance you possibly can. But if you can't catch us live, you can catch us at home on the Space City Home Network, the Cowboy Channel, as well as Telemundo. As a matter of fact, let's engage Enrique and Luis. Luis and Enrique, hola amigos, ¿qué pasó?
Hola, Boyd, amigos, Andy, Bob, gracias por acompañarnos. Un placer estar con ustedes y tal como dice, descarguen la aplicación de Telemundo Texas para acompañarnos aquí en Rodeo Houston todas las noches.
Caballeros, buenas noches. Tonight we will get to see 3 former Rodeo Houston champs, and among them is Buddy Hawkins. Definitely a good group.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, what a good-looking crowd for a Reba opening night. They're coming 2 at a time. It's a tandem event. You're going to love it all, and they get paid equal money as well. Team roping. Oh, boy, this is going to be good watching, Andy. Corral boots. Handcrafted boots make it happen. Yaglo and Hawkins, you remember?
I do. It was JC and Buddy who teamed up to leave here with the biggest checks. And we're going to see Buddy here in Super Series 1 with 2-time world champ Chad Masters. Look out, though. This is a stacked competition. It's going to be a tough one.
That's right. You said we're going to see Buddy. We're going to start with Buddy. But he's roping with a 2-time Rodeo Houston champion, Chad Masters. A 2-time world champion as well. Masters of Tennessee to the horns. Hawkins, uh-oh, that's not good. Oh. Was he able to get that leg out of it? He was.
He did. How did that happen?
He's a magician. That's the only, folks, if you get a leg in your loop, your head loop, it's a disqualified. You're disqualified. It's illegal. So he's got to try to get that leg out of that front loop before he can pull his slack and dally off. The fact that he was able to do that is just means he's a master with a rope in his hand. 11.4.
I didn't know you could push a rope 20 foot away from that steer, Andy.
Well, thank the Lord he had a big arena to do it in. Tanner Tomlinson, Travis Graves, the youngster and the $2 million veteran, and that is how you stack them up. 5.7, and now we're roping.
I was a little nervous when that loop went on the horns. It looked like it might have picked a horn, but it didn't. Tomlinson, one of the great ones, a former Rookie of the Year. Teamed up with, that's the number 4 team in the world right there, folks. Tomlinson and Graves. Now let's go to world champions galore.
Well, that last team just won 50 grand at Fort Worth, and this team has been a champion there as well. Turquoise Circuit champions. It's a world champion header with 4 sisters he's been raised with, Eric Rogers. 2-time champion of the world, Colin Bonon at the heels. Beautiful headshot right there. Woo-hoo! Arizona, Oklahoma. Boys, you've got a new leader by 1/10 of a second. 5.6.
Eric Rogers, the header, won this rodeo in 2014, a decade ago with Corey Pesca, and he's on a hot streak. I very rarely ever see that guy miss. That's Colin Bonon. He's a 3-time NFR champion. Now, let's go to Nelson Wyatt and Jonathan Torres. You grew up with Jonathan, didn't you, Andy?
I did, yeah. He now lives in my hometown, grew up in South Florida, but decided to move to Marion County. Horse country, but look out, Nelson Wyatt can sling it a long ways. 2 horns, can we get 2 on the back? We do. 5 and 8. And we have a log jam at 1, 2, and 3 in the team rope.
But the second timed event, the exact opposite is happening of what happened in the tie-down roping. In the tie-down roping, those times were really long when you look at your first 3 or 4. Here, the times are really fast at 5.6, 5.7, and 5.8. So that's going to put pressure on the back end of this field. for kids like Jake Clay and Tanner Braden. Tanner went to his first national finals. There he is. That's a good look at Tanner. Last year at the age of 36. Jake Clay went to the NFR in 2023. 26-year-old header, 36-year-old healer, and there is your first miss of the day.
Well, to your point, Boyd, when you add a little pressure to those teams to follow, they feel like they get behind the farther down the arena they come.
Oh, that horse trying to cut off to the left a little bit. I wouldn't say that it was the horse's fault, but he's trying to rope him straight out in front of you. Let's go to Florida again, Andy. Clint Summers from Lake City with $1,200,000. Paul Eves. Watch this guy at the heels. Look at him, look at him, look at him. Yeah, they're healing tonight. 5.1. We've got a new leader. Now bring that point up. You're an enthusiast of team roping, like I, Boyd too. But you see Paul Eves, he was cranking. He was there.
Guys,
there's a reason. So excuse me, Andy. There's a reason Paul Eves is a two-time world champion, and you just saw it. Now let's turn to a couple of kids, Andy. These two guys are 19-year-old pups. I bet this is their first time to rope in NRG.
It is. Tyler Tryon, the son of a world champion, who is also his dad, a past Rodeo Houston champ. And Denton Dunning, if you haven't heard his name before, I can promise you at different junior and high school rodeos, we have heard it ad nauseum. This kid is just starting to find out how talented he is. Long reach from Tryon. Dunning times it out. I told you, they're not scared of the large names and the resumes that came before them at 5-1.
It's good to be young. You can be fearless. You can take a chance knowing you'll get another nod of the head tomorrow. Tryon and Dunning move into a tie for the top spot at 5.1. Now, can we see a 5 flat? Definitely. With this team, Brenton Hall, you'll meet his bride, Shayla, in the breakaway roping a bit later on. Caden Profili, Jacksonville, Texas to the heel, catch inside, look out. We're going for under 5. Yes! Save the best for last. Come on, Texas, don't be shy. That's a 5 flat for Oklahoma and Texas. That's exactly what you wanted.
Great job by Brenton, sliding a little rope so that steer cleans up so Caden can make that shot, Bobby T.
Turned the corner, caught him on the hop, the second jump, not the first. Still made it work. There is the headgear on all of the cattle to protect them. This is what you look at. Watch the healer right into position. Now get the fire and set it. Tally up, we're stretched in face. The blue rope did well tonight with the smiles of the young rookies. They're doing it. Hall and Profili. That's a 5. Summers and Eves. Tryon and Dunning, Rogers and Monon. One heck of a team roping, boys. With a big thank you to our sponsor, Corral Boots.
Back to the bucket shoots we go with the event that started it all. Saddle bronc riding here at Rodeo Houston.
Anyone who knows rodeo knows there's nothing more important than safety. That goes for our fans too. The Crown Royal Riders want everyone to make it home safely. As you enjoy Rodeo Houston, please make sure to always assign a designated driver. Crown Royal wants you to drink responsibly. Rain on, Houston.
Hey, check out the best seats in the house. We call them the Shoot Seats, and they're presented by Chenier. Right behind the bucket shoots. Wave if you're in those beautiful Chenier best seats in the house.
Beautiful people, beautiful arena. And who takes care of our arena crew? Those talented folks working the gates, all the shoots, all that equipment. They are sponsored by Cavender's Food City.
It's a beautiful crowd for opening night, isn't it? Look at the beard. Wow, that is an outstanding beard in the front row.
I thought you said beer.
Beard.
Oh. Everybody with a beard like that ought to have a beer in their hand.
Welcome back inside NRG Stadium. But you know what we do on the weekends? We go outside at night. And when we do, be sure to catch our spectacular drone show. It happens every Saturday and Sunday night at 8 p.m. We'll be lighting up the sky over NRG Arena, and it's all presented by ExxonMobil. You'll love it. Classic event in the world of professional rodeo. It's called the Saddle Bronc Riding. It gave birth to the sport we call professional rodeo, and it's brought to you by Energy Transfer. 1 year ago, this Australian on a horse named Ed Bishop scored 91 points. That's a 91-point ride by Damian Brennan. Now, you got some talent in this one. Brody Kress, a three-time NFR champ. Dawson Hay coming off the victory in San Antonio. Lefty Holman, who won the last 2 rounds of the NFR. So this is a bunch of bright lights in the Bronc Busters.
Florida's where we begin. Parker Kemper of Deer Park, Florida. The bay horse called Mortician from the Cervies.
Oh, just a nice, easy jump kicker. That pretty bay mare. I don't know, did they get a little formaldehyde just before they nod their head on that bay horse? If that's the Mortician, look at him rock. Look at him rock, reaching for the horse, let the horse do the kicking. The harder they kick, the faster your feet are gonna go to the front end.
Can you spell formaldehyde?
Yes.
77 points. That might be the first time I've ever heard formaldehyde used in a rodeo.
Won't be the last.
Let's go to the man who won the National Western back in January on Ricky Bobby. He was 87.5 points. This is Zach Dallas of Las Cruces, New Mexico. On San Luis. Watch his horse tuck his nose down in between his legs. This horse takes a consistent rein from the cowboy. And that is really helpful if you're Zach Dallas trying to get in time. See, you measure the bronc rein based on where the horse holds its head when it bucks. So you see how this horse tucks his nose down in between his front feet every jump? That makes it real easy for him to get consistent in his spur ride. 82.5 points for the 23-year-old. He's happy. Shell Federal Credit Union opening day, and he's in the money.
All right, how come Brody Kress, as good as he rides, hadn't won a world title?
Great question.
When you think about the $2.2 million he's earned, ended up 5th last year, he's 8th right now. This guy got money in 7 rounds in Las Vegas. Tonight, it's the Vintage Villain. That's close to a Mortician.
You're knocking them all out tonight, Bob. It's another Cervi Gray. Trying to make sure this horse is standing so that he can get his feet in position. First jump out, it's called the mark out rule. And if that horse is leaning on your leg, it makes it more difficult for you to put your foot above the horse's shoulder that first jump out.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talking going on down there.
There's your nod for the 3-time champion of Giant. Yeah. Up. One jump, a little light, but he pitched him right back in the front end, boys. He just rides so good.
Well, Brody is not only a 3-time champion of Cheyenne, he's a 3-time NFR champion, a 3-time state wrestling champion in Cheyenne. And look at him. Throw that arm forward, lifting on that rein. That's textbook, baby. That is textbook. 79.5 on the ride. Now here's one of my favorite horses in the Cervi pen. This is a little brown and white paint called Fancy Frank. His dad is a world champion bucket horse. This horse's father is Lunatic Fringe out of the Birch String. And his daddy was a great bucket horse for a long time. This horse is going to take so much rein. I mean, this horse is going to literally touches nose on the dirt with every jump of the ride. So Regan Smith, the 2020 Rookie of the Year, knows what he's dealing with Fancy Frank. Here we go.
You called it. Look at these nose. Look at these nose. Look at Regan ride. This is a second-generation bronc rider. Everybody in this family rides bucking horses. You think about where he came from, Andy, Kansas City, Missouri, Logandale. You and Boyd watched him in Wyoming win the college title in 2019. He had right. All right, Regan is saying 75 points.
Speaking of horses, this is one of my favorites. Two Cookies, the horse, the bay horse that they've won money on at the national finals. They've won some very big checks here at Rodeo Houston as well. And Ryder Sanford had to be excited when he saw his name next to this one.
Let's be honest. This horse is a slot machine where every time you pull the lever, it comes up sevens. Straight across the board. If you can ride, and trust me, Ryder Sanford can ride really well, this is the kind of horse that'll take you to the lead.
Another former Rookie of the Year, qualified to the national finals 2 years ago. And there it is, a nice little trip straight down the pen. Rider and horse both do their job. I think we're gonna like what we're seeing here, Bobby.
Well, I wouldn't call this bay horse a tweet, but he is so perfect. About 6 jumps into a little fade to the left, not gonna change you any. Oh, Ryder, you're gonna like it. Put him in the number 2 spot. 80.5 for Ryder Sanford.
You know, there's sometimes when you read somebody's bio, and we read a lot of stats, but I love that Logan Cook works as a repo man when he's not riding broncs. Forked up a veteran horse from the Cervies that may be old enough to buy a beer.
Yeah, his dad owns a car lot, and he'll sell cars on a payment month-by-month basis. And if you get a couple of months behind, old Logan might pull into your yard ready to take the car back. That's why they call him the repo man. He just repoed number 1, moves into the number 2 spot with an 82-point ride for the 27-year-old. He won the Daddy of them all in Cheyenne last July, and now he's doing really well here.
All right, the number 2 man in the world standings. You see him down there adjusted his front cinch. This is Dawson Hay. Gonna be Canyon Sunset. Folks, it's pretty tight at the top. 82.5, 82, 80.5, 79.5, the top 4 spots. Now you'll see out front, Binion Survey in the blue sport coat. Must be a night to wear blue, Andy.
He got the memo.
Yeah.
Well, if you just go back a week ago, this guy turned in a 90-point ride to win over $25,000 in San Antonio. So
here's one of those guys that's already got $66,000 won.
And he didn't have a choice, let's be honest. His dad, Rod, his uncle, Denny, his older brother, Logan, they're all great bronc riders. I mean, if you don't have a bronc saddle and your last name is Hay, you don't get to come home for Christmas in December. This guy, though, is just really, really super talented.
He's a happy daddy right now, and his baby girl, they call Honeybell. He said, let's win some baby shoes tonight. Houston, Daddy did it, Uncle Danny did it, I want it too. Look at him set his feet.
This is looking good.
Oh my goodness, there's a bronc ride.
Oh, he knows it too. Just by his reaction, he's a humble kid, but he knows he did what he had to do. This horse gets off the ground on the front end. This horse kicks out hard out the back end. So he's off the ground in the front. He's kicking toward the ceiling on the back. Dawson is spurring the fur off of him. How about 87 points for Dawson Hay, the great Canadian?
Well, it's not over, but with a paycheck, when we're looking at $3,000, that's in Super Series number 1 just tonight, second with 2. Third place at 1,000. You mash up 3 of those, there's $9 grand available for him.
Question, is he wearing the white boots or the red boots tonight?
I don't know. The camera didn't pan down that far yet.
No,
Oh,
White ones.
he's wearing the white ones.
Blanco zapatos. I don't know. That's shoes. I don't know if that counts for boots as well.
Blanco.
Lefty Holman of Visalia, California. The horse, this is kind of ironic, is named Pressure Cooker. 87, 82 and a half, but I don't think Lefty's going to be feeling any pressure, fellas.
This horse, though, but this horse bucked off Tyrell Roberts at the National Western in Denver. So you can't stub your toe on Pressure Cooker, and that might be where the pressure's coming from.
I know there's some people in Nevada watching him in a watch party. Uncle Joe, Mike, Pete, all of his family in California. Let's go, Lefty. Let the white boots fire. Look at there, boys. You want another set of the feet, boys. There it is.
You'll hear us sometimes say a horse stacks up. Now, what does that mean? He's going to stay close to the chutes, and he is going to buck almost in the same place. I mean, for the 8-second ride, I don't know that this horse travels more than 25 feet. It allows the cowboy to show off his spur stroke, and the pressure is out the window. 84 and a half, a top 2 score for Lefty.
Way to go, Visalia, California. Oh, you need it all. Bronc reins, gate ropes, ooh, and a big-time bucking horse to take you to the pay window. And when you show off, the judges reward you with the points that equal money. Over $2.5 million of it at Rodeo Houston as Dawson spikes the landing. Reagan claps his hands. Zach says that was a little bit of a rough day. Dawson Hayes on fire. Once San Antonio wins the first round of Super Series 1, Energy Transfer brought you the Saddle Bronc riding.
We'll be digging in the dirt with the steer wrestlers just around the corner.
All right, here's where you get to play with us in NRG Stadium tonight. Fans, it's time for Entertainer Trivia. I want you to answer the question on the screen correctly for a chance to win season tickets to the 25 Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Look at the screen. Let's get with it. There you go, Morty.
Hey, be sure and visit the Fan Zone, presented by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. There's 2 of them, sections 103 and 124. There, our rodeo royalty is signing autographs along with Shelby Pearson, who brought us the American flag in our opening ceremony. Love to see you in the Fan Zone, sections 103, 124, brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance.
Why don't we take a look up to the video screens? It's time for the Carnival Cruise Line Cowboy Cam. It's bringing out the Wild West in you and our very own Leon Coffee. Oh, you're looking good, Leon. All green on opening night. Looks like Leon's made some friends. That is fun.
Let's play. It is steer wrestling time. The big boys are about to tackle farm animals. The steer wrestling is proudly presented by our good friends at Mattress Firm. 1 year ago, this Nevada cowboy, Dakota Eldridge, rode his way to the $50,000 check. This year it'll be $65,000. Dalton Massey has won this rodeo in the past. Matt Reeves, the great veteran. Tyler Wegas back. Oh, and we're off and running. Massey has nodded his head already and will set the pace at 5.1. That was your 2023 Rodeo Houston champ.
What he needs to do is smooth it out. hot winds and he goes 2 months and doesn't win anything. His grandparents tonight in Hermiston, Oregon, Sid and Randy Ray Britt, they're watching him. There's a smile. That was good.
Glad you got it out of him, Bobby T.
Yeah.
Tanner Bruner of Ramona, Kansas, 4-time NFR qualifier. Kansas State grad, who's qualified to the College National Finals in the past. And that's got to be one of the best mustaches in all of professional rodeo.
Got shoulders just like mine before the accident.
That was actually the reigning world champion, J.D. Struxus, helping him to get out. Whoa! Psych! Oh, the steer hit the skids just when he thought he was about to run 9-0 to the other end of the pen. All of a sudden he goes, look, dude, I'm running, psych! Then the steer looks cocky. Look at him, he's like, yeah, who's your daddy now? No time for Tanner, the Wildcat from Kansas State. Let's go to Mike McGinn, a 30-year-old veteran from Haines, Oregon. He'll be next up.
He's already in the top 40s for the third-generation rancher north of Baker City, about 10 miles. At the age of 30, he's won $300,000, Andy. And when you think about it, this guy's got ranches, they got trucking companies, they got a cow outfit to work with.
Got a pretty good record in his career. Whoa, he nodded while he was backing into the corner.
Did he call for him?
Yeah, he did. It almost makes you wonder if maybe his horse gets nervous, Boyd. That's why he did that.
Yeah, because most of the time you're going to see him set their horse into the corner of the box, make sure the horse is looking at the steer, and then they'll nod. But you're going to watch Mike, when he rides in, we won't see it from that angle, but the minute he turns that horse and gets him backed up, he actually nods while the horse is still backing into the box. All right, we're looking at a 7 flat on the run. See how the horse is still backing up, and he nodded anyway. And to Andy's point, it looked like that horse might want to rear up a little bit, so Mike got the jump on him.
Got to be smarter than the car you drive, the plane you fly, or the horse you ride.
At 46 years of age, Matt Reeves of Cross Plains, Texas, is still playing with the next generation of steer wrestlers. The Texas A&M Aggie is an 8-time NFR qualifier. I'm sure there's a few people inside NRG that would like to gig him.
There's just what happened, boys. We talked about it. Matt backed him in the corner. Horse is going, I'm ready. Didn't out till I tell you you're ready. Right here from Central Texas. Oh, no, no, no. Savannah, your husband's in trouble. Dang it.
Bang it.
Shucks, darn. All that kind of stuff. 19-5. That will also tell us that he broke the barrier. Could have been 9. He's all right.
Let me pose a question to the two of you. Do you know any cowboy that has won 5 world championships that once their career was done, they were not inducted into the Hall of Fame? I don't think there's a 5-time world champion that has never been inducted into the Hall of Fame. This guy is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, folks. He's been to the national finals 10 times and left 5 times with a gold buckle, proclaiming him the world champion. This is Tyler Wegesbach.
Now he's won 2 averages in Las Vegas on 10 head runs. It'll tell you the consistency. I felt bad for him a year ago. He didn't draw the right cattle, Andy. T-Wag, as they'll call him at home in Gonzales, Louisiana.
Hard running steer as he goes over halfway and is still 7-1.
That's his signature, you know. Nolan Ryan had the fastball, right? The pitcher for the Astros, grew up down in Alvin, Texas. World famous for his fastball. This guy is world famous for the way he's able to throw a steer no matter where or when he gets to it. His groundwork is impeccable.
I think one of the more impressive things he ever did, too, last year was even qualifying to the National Finals rodeo. I mean, he was hurt halfway through the season, but speaking of the National Finals, here's the man who left it with the biggest prize of all, J.D. Struxness, our reigning world champion, 5-time NFR qualifier, who left there, won over $160,000 while in Vegas, Bobby G.
At the age of 30, he's middle-aged. Get him up, J.D.
Great point, Bob. He had to get that steer up. He couldn't throw him when his front end fell down. That is a great point.
And it didn't hit him wrong. Let's watch it again. You get a good rear shot of it right there. He didn't hit that steer to do that to him. Steer just stumbled. Now he's got an up, reach, roll, and lay flat.
So this next guy wasn't supposed to be a steer wrestler because his dad owned a pawn shop, and when he was a kid, he got a bareback rigging out of the pawn shop and started riding bareback horses and saddle broncs. And then at age 30, in 2024, he qualifies for his first national finals as a steer wrestler and wins the NFR championship in a 10-head match. This is Texas's Don Payne. It's a good thing he didn't stay riding bareback horses because he's 6'4", 245, and that is not exactly the exact physique you're looking for in a bareback rider.
Johnny Emmons gave him a start at Weatherford College. Went on to Tarleton State University in Erath County, Texas A&M. Yeah, I knew the Aggies would pick up on that. This guy is so solid in his walk-up to your life. Take your hand.
He's trying to get his horse set in the corner. They can feel the nerves. They know what's on the line, and this is not your everyday event. Don is gassed up, holding that horse, trying not to break the barrier. I'll be anxious to see whether or not he got out. Ooh, that left leg goes behind him, and he will roll him to the side at 9-9.
Ouch.
That is not the way you want to dismount the steer wrestler.
You got to be an athlete to take a fall like that. Take a 200-plus pound man.
The steer stepped on his left ankle, and that was one of the reasons he lost his feet. Might be a little limping going on with that guy right now. Let's turn to a man we call the Alabama Slammer. This is the great Kyle Irwin, now living in Westville, Florida. He is an NFR champion, currently number 19 in the world. 6-time national finalist, Kyle Irwin. He'll finish up in 6.4, and that's going to be good enough, believe it or not, guys.
Watch this little dance he has to do just when he gets to the steer, Andy. He's got to stop him.
Slides him around at 6-4. He understands this format and knows that a check on night number 1 is monumental in your chances of advancing from our first Super Series. Once you're back in the corner of the box, it's on. The race to find yourself in position to dismount, make a left-hand turn, and wrestle the steer to the ground. When it works out, you smile as you head back. Other times you wince. Don't worry, Matt. We'll get you a new shirt. We'll try it again in round 2. But it is a past champion of Rodeo Houston, Dalton Massey, that will take round 1 of Super Series 1 with that 5-1 as we send our gratitude to Mattress Firm for bringing us the steer wrestling.
Don't go anywhere because the Cowgirls have saddled their horses. The horse race and the barrel racing when we return.
The fun doesn't stop after tonight's concert. Get your adrenaline rush or play some games at the Carnival presented by First Community. Taste award-winning wines from around the world at Champion Wine Garden presented by Frost. If you're 21 and over, enjoy dancing and live music at The Hideout every night from 6 p.m. until midnight. Looking for a casual or fine dining experience? The Ranch Saloon and Steakhouse has got you covered. Enjoy some live music and grab an ice-cold beer at the Miller Lite Ice House. Unwind with a drink as you enjoy a live DJ at the Topo Chico Hard Seltzers Oasis. So stick around, there's plenty to do and something for everyone at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Okay, everybody listen up. It's time to check the screens for the answer to the trivia question. The winner will be announced on March 23rd.
Smile if you're in a good mood.
They're smiling. A gorgeous crowd for opening day and night here at Rodeo Houston. The action continues with the ladies in the barrel racing. Fastest horses turning around 3 barrels. Whoever stops the clock with the best number wins it. S&B engineers and constructors will bring us our cowgirls. Go back 11 months and just over 300 days ago, Leslie Smoligo left here as the champion of Rodeo Houston. That chestnut horse took her to the title. And we have another packed field. World champion Fallon Taylor, millionaire Lisa Lockhart, and we've got some very talented horse trainers in here as well, fellas.
Let's get it started with the entrepreneur and world champion Fallon Taylor. Collinsville, Texas is going to set the pace on opening night. 7-time NFR qualifier on a big blood red bay. First run in this arena with the fences so far away. It is not unusual for those horses to go a little wide. In night number 1, she'll set the bar at 15.29 seconds.
The word millionaire keeps popping up about Lisa Lockhart. She has won $3.7 million in 18 trips to Vegas. What? The mother of 2. What? That buckskin mare make it twice. She has never won Houston. Could it be this year? Run, mama, run. 1460. There's your new leader. I know they're watching in Old Ridge, South Dakota tonight.
She is so good. The horse's name is Derby.
Andrea Busby of Bronc, Texas. And that beautiful roan horse coming off her first trip to the National Finals Rodeo where she took the title. She just won Fort Worth. Roan horse picks up barrel number 2 beautifully.
Whoa, hit it, but that didn't hurt.
He just bumped it. That doesn't matter. It's still standing. Come on, Andrea. Stop it at a 14.70. And so far, we are off to a hot start in the barrel racing, gents.
Yes, we are, and it's not going to cool off with this next cowgirl ready to go. I mean, you can go back to when she was an Oklahoma high school champion and finished in the top 10 at the National High School Finals. Paige Jones, the former WPRA Rookie of the Year. NFR qualifier, good first barrel. No wasted space between her horse and the barrel. Tight corners and straight lines usually mean fast times. Let's ride, Paige. Yes, by 1/100th of a second, she moves into the number 1 spot with a 14.59.
Love how she lifted her leg over that barrel. Wow. What a move to make sure that she makes a clean run.
All right, well, we have, we're taking the opportunity to to try to make the ground safe for everybody. A little tractor work to keep the ground safe and good to go. Hey, let's go down to Janie Johnson. Hi, Janie.
Hi, Boyd. Well, the barrel racing is off to an awesome start, and the rules of barrel racing are very simple. You want to have the fastest time, and you want to keep the barrels up. Well, it comes down to 10, sometimes hundredths of a second in order for you to have that successful run. So we want to compare some runs here. We got Fallon Taylor, world champion, also Rodeo Houston champion back in 1997, and Lisa Lockhart. And we're going to take a look at them here, and we actually have different barrel racers going around these two, and you can see it's so close going around that first barrel. We lose some distance in between first and second. Then they kind of meet back up as they head into that third. You can see right there quite a bit behind, and that is where all the time difference was made, was running into that third barrel, and quite a lead headed home from the third. But right now, the best news is they're taking care of the ground. They just dragged it, making it look perfect for the next set of 4.
Thank you, Jamie. Let's go back and look at another former Rodeo Houston champion. She won it twice in 2008 and 2012. This is Lindsay Sears. Back then, she rode a horse named Martha. The Livestock, Texas cowgirl was a Canadian figure skater. The Canadian-born cowgirl records a 14.94 for Lindsay Sears.
All right, let's keep it in Texas, even though she wasn't born and raised here. Jolene Montgomery from Purton, Texas, for Purdy Dapplecray. That horse nearly went to the wall coming down that alley. Wide, scattered, and running, but you know what? If a horse can keep the motion, go, Jolene, go. 14.91.
Well, Bob, she trains a lot of horses too, so once those two come together and he figures out this building, I expect Jolene to be even faster. Sticking with Texas, Madisonville's Michelle Alley, former all-around cowgirl at the College National Finals. Down the alley, quarter horses. The winner at the Caldwell Night Rodeo. Pretty in pink as she lifts the leg over barrel number 2. Come on, Michelle. We're trying to catch 14.59, 14.82, and that puts her number 4.
Well, remember, the 4 highest money winners when we're done after 3 rounds advance. So if you can get in that top 4 and just stay in the top 4 each round, that's exactly where you want to be. Let's go to the cowgirl who won Colorado versus the World at the National Western, Caitlin Scott, Odessa, Texas. Standout at Odessa College and Eastern New Mexico University. Come on, Caitlin. Gotta be faster than that 14.82. 14.90 is gonna put her in the number 5 spot.
We talk about this event of inches and hundredths of a second, but folks, starting off this tonight, there's Mike to drop the flag. When you've got the two, number 1 and number 2 spot, 100th of a second apart, this is gonna be a horse race. Reach and go to the inside rein. Put a little whip on them. Out the gate we go. Hey, Jones, 14.59. Lisa, you're good at 60. Brock, Texas at 70. That's barrel racing. And it's all brought to you by S&B Engineers and Constructors.
Well, you like the ladies in the barrel racing. You're gonna love the ladies in the Breakaway roping. Sponsored by our friends at Oxy. 1 year ago, Jackie Crawford, the winningest world champion in WPRA history, rode out of here with the saddle proclaiming her the champ. Keep your eyes out on Shayla Hall, Taylor Munchell, JJ Hampton. Those 3 ladies all have great talent. It's going to be fun to watch. Let's start with Bo Peterson.
Number 7 in the world. Qualified to the national finals just a couple years ago. First one to go. And it is going to be an illegal catch. The calf stepped in the loop with its back leg. We are looking for what's called a bell collar catch, right? The loop has to stay in front of the shoulders of the calf, and you see the back leg in the loop when the rope breaks away. So it'll be a no time for Bub.
Kind of a sizzle catch. Not how big your loop is, but once you get it over the nose, behind the ears, get your slack and park your horse. Maylee Wade from White, Georgia. Oh, another beautiful roan horse.
I can't walk and chew gum, and she's going to chew gum, ride a horse, and rope a calf.
Right about there. Reach. Ooh.
Now, there comes a point where you got to throw a Hail Mary, and you get to that 50-yard line, and you still haven't thrown your rope. Yeah, I do like that blue roan, but that calf was a runner. And the Georgia Cowgirl is going to go out with a no time, so we're starting it a little rough as we go next to Kayla Graham from Cameron, Texas. She's the number 9 ranked breakaway roper in the world right now. She roped one in 1.9 seconds. She's Justin Moss CPA.
Really?
Yeah, Justin Moss is a former champion tie-down roper at Houston.
Good businessman as well. Great family.
Yep. The CPA.
I let her do my books. Yo, good.
Do the accounting on that.
I'll take it with the barrier penalty to go with it. Oh, the IRS threw that one at her. Dang it. 13-10. Would have been, could have been a 3-1.
We've gone off the rails if we're talking about people's CPAs. Bailey Bates of Tehachapi, New Mexico, took a big check in Mandan, North Dakota at the Rough Rider Cup. Also won Lewiston, Idaho, but she is late. Trying to play catch up on the bay, and she will. It's our first clean run of the night with a 4 and 5.
She is the Indian National Finals Rodeo World Champion. So it was great to see her clock that 4.5, be penalty free. Stand out at New Mexico State University. Bailey Bates rides out with the lead and 4 to go. You met Brenton Hall earlier in the team roping. This little lady runs a company called Hall of Fame Frame Photography. She's a photographer. Shayla Hall. Stick it. Yep, that's legal. Slick around the neck, the bell collar catch that Andy was talking about. Brand new leader, Shayla Hall moves into the top spot with a 3.9.
You see where she got that loop bigger, faster? She got to that point, had to throw it. If she's riding a horse, it'll get stopped in the ground as quick. Taylor Munsell, here's your top 4 position of the WPRA in the breakaway roping in the world standings. She's already won nearly $19,000.
Hard running set of calves here on night number 1, but Taylor takes one more swing. Now, I want to point this out. That may have been a run where she said, you know what? I'm going to take my medicine, free my horse up, and make sure everything is good for rounds 2 and 3. 6 and 1.
And come back and do it 2 more times.
She's got a master's in education from Northwestern Oklahoma State. Let's go to the 18-time world champion, J.J. Hampton, Stephenville, Texas. She got a criminal justice degree from Tarleton State University and might come in handy because she may have just got robbed. No time for JJ.
Not that happy about it as we go to Tiana Gray. Here's a lady won $8,000, guys, in Fort Worth 3 weeks ago. Tiana Gray now lives in May, Texas.
Number 6 in the world. She knows if she can do her job, there's money to be won. Smart, 4.2. Slides her into the number 2 spot here in round 1. That is a $2,000 payday, and that is smart. Cash a check in round 1 makes your chances that much better to advance.
Well, you just said it. After we went with 2 in a row with nothing and 2 broken barriers, they got to thinking about it. There is a little theory that goes along with it. From the time you nod, that calf runs, you get in position, gotta reach a long way. That figure 8 will hold that slack out of there. You did good, my lady. Horse stopped all right as well. There's the serious side of going all try harder tomorrow. Nice job, Deanna. Looking at the times as we go back to it. 3-9, Shayla Hall. Deanna Gray, 4-2. Bates, you're in there, girls, for the money. With a big thank you for the breakaway roping. The thanks goes to Oxy.
Stay where you are at. The bovine is going to be a battle to the bull riding when we come back.
See those busy men and women working the gates and setting up equipment? Say thank you to Cavender's Boot City for sponsoring our arena crew.
They're awesome. Work hard every performance. First to arrive, the last to leave. Great team. Fabulous team. If you haven't visited the Fan Zone yet, it's presented by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance at sections 103 and 124. When you get up there, you can take a picture with your favorite rodeo stars, get an autograph, pick up a Rodeo Houston belt buckle. There's the world champion, J.D. Struxness, giving us thumbs up. Here's some of the Bronc Busters giving you a 5. So the Fan Zone, we will see you there.
Hi, I'm Zeke Thurston, 4-time world champion saddle bronc rider. We're here in Houston. Always look forward to coming to this rodeo. Just the hospitality that they provide for their cowboys is bar none. Part of that hospitality is the Houston Methodist Sports Medicine team. They're there to take care of us, you know, knock the sore spots away, take care of your bumps and bruises that you've sustained during the rodeo or maybe prior, and get you loose, limber, and ready to ride.
Inside NRG Stadium, we are gearing up for the bull riding. What an outstanding looking crowd as they begin to pack in this big building. Bull riding coming your way. And guess who brings it to you? Rock and Roll Denim. That's who brings it to you. And a year ago, a kid from Missouri named Creek Young went out and made the best ride of the day on our final championship performance. Tonight, you'll see the rookie, Cooper James, thank you, and 8-time world champion Stetson Wright. So from top to bottom, this bull riding is going to be outstanding. Let's meet your bull fighters. On the left, he's called the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Say hello to Dusty Tuckner. In the middle, NFR bullfighter Nate Justice. On the right, the fastest man in cleats, Bo Sheets, joining us at Rodeo Houston. And for his very first time, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 10-time National Finals Rodeo Barrelman from Soper, Oklahoma. Give a warm welcome to Mr. John Harrison. Buddy, we saw Leon Coffey. Yeah, we're going to reel you in. Oh, you want to go down here? All right, Stubb, let's ride some bulls.
All right, kick it in with Cooper James from Ureta, Utah. Short Grub. That's the name of this bull, and he is a stubby little red bugger. This guy got money, Andrew, in 5 rounds in Las Vegas, and he's only 19 years old.
Tough bull to try and ride, Bobby T. The last time this bull was ridden was a year and a half ago, and he continues to dominate.
Yeah, Short Grub is 27-1. That bull has a 96% buck-off rate. To Andy's point, the last guy to ride him was Trey Holston in Fort Madison, Iowa in September of 2023. In the year and a half that has passed since, nobody has heard the whistle on the back of that Survey bucking bull. So now let's turn to TJ Gray. This is the number 5 ranked bull rider in the world. 2 weeks ago, I was in Columbus, Ohio. He rode a bull called the Badlands for 88 points. He won $105,000 at the NFR. And is he grabbing his grip backwards? Yeah.
Yeah, got his hand rolled over forward.
Yeah, I remember when Trevor Rice started doing this. This is only the second guy I've ever seen do that. Whoa! Smoking Joe sends the number 5 man in the world flying.
Now, it's not the reason that he rolled his hand backwards. Someone do it to an injured arm or wrist. That bull just blew the rope right out of his hand.
There is no wasted motion from Smokin' Joe either. That bull is solid muscle. And a little booty bump out the back. Add an insult to injury. Brody Erie of Morgan Mill, Texas. He's finished as high as number 20 in the world last year, but is still looking to acquire his first trip to the national finals. Newsflash, another tough bull from the Serbies. When they ride him, they average 87, but they don't do that very often. 85% of the time, he gets the best of the Cowboy, but Brody's got a good seat.
Oh my goodness, we're at the whistle. Weatherford, Texas, come alive tonight.
You know what I love the most about him is he's a youth minister in his church. That's right, Morgan Mill, Texas. He puts on Bible study classes for kids up in that neck of the woods, and he takes the lead with an 81.5 as the first man to get to the whistle. Good job, Brody.
Boydie, he learned that from a youth minister named John Hartman at Greenwood Baptist Church, Brian Bond. I hope they're watching their kid tonight.
This bull has prettier hair than John Harrison. And that's saying something because John Harrison's got some pretty hair.
Ride a bull, Tristan! No! Oh, when your feet go to floating, your butt's gonna follow.
Centerfold's the name of the bull, folks. That bull's been around for forever. He's been bucked 74 times in his career, only ridden 15 times. And so there's no harm in coming down out of that. Hey, John?
Yes.
Any pointers at this point? Any advice you'd like to give the bull riders?
Just hang on longer. I don't know.
Great advice.
When would you decide to let go?
When you hear the buzzard, okay?
Okay.
Or for you to say, let go.
Got you. All right.
We don't say let go.
Then he better listen for the buzzard.
Mason Moody. Thanks for the help, John. Lester, South Dakota. You, come on, you little blonde bomber. Try. Yes.
The bull's name is Choir Boy. How in the world do you name a bull Choir Boy?
And it's a rematch. He's had this bull twice before and never rode him. This is his third time to get on the bull, and the third time is the charm for the 21-year-old Mason Moody. 80 points will move him into the top 2 for the Badlands Buckaroo. Bob, you shouldn't have been shocked. He was 87 in Fort Worth, 85 in San Antonio, now 80 here. Kid's on a roll.
And last October, he was the champion at the Badlands Circuit Finals in Minot. Well, Boyd, when you talk about rematches, even though it might have been 4 or 5 years ago, Colorado High, you could be 87 points. I don't think he forgot that day or that night.
It was Eagle, Colorado, Bob, back in 2021. But this Hard Knocks bull does not get ridden very often. This is Trey Kimsey. And this bull has bucked off his 7-time world champion brother twice.
The reason this bull's been featured at the National Finals Rodeo. Now he's got to re-pull his rope. This bull was being a little ornery in the chute, so he's going to reset.
We're going to roll up. Elijah Gore believes in pink. His shirt is pink, his glove is pink, his bull rope is pink.
I love his hat.
It's not pink.
I still like the hat. That's old-timey right there.
Well, I know exactly where he lives off Highway 27 in Moorhaven, Florida, and the Cowboy Channel might be the only channel they get.
Coy Pohlmeyer had this bull at the National Western, scored 85 points in Denver back in January. The bull is called Damage Control.
This is a crossbred of something, I don't know what, but that curly hair and those 1-2-3 horns. And this bull is not that big.
Might be part Scottish Highlander.
He kind of looks like he might have a little bit of that in his genetics.
They're in style right now. Ooh. He spends a lot of his season in Florida and wins a lot of money down there. Unfortunately, Damage Control caused him a little damage in the Bayou City.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's come down to one man. Are we going back to Trey? We going to try him?
So he's going to regroup.
Oh, hard knocks. Yeah, he's got him re-pulled. No, it isn't. It's in.
Verify this is Trey, right?
Yes.
Yes.
4-time NFR qualifier. Last year's winner at Austin. And he is in trouble. Left foot comes loose. Then hard knocks takes care of the rest. Look out, bullfighters. You're earning your paycheck now.
You see how small this bull is? He looks like a big bulldog and steer. He's a little slab-sided and a little tough to get your feet down, hold on with. His left foot comes loose and his body goes to the right.
Here is one of the most decorated cowboys in the history of professional rodeo. After an injury last season where he didn't make the National Finals Rodeo, this 8-time world champion, Stetson Wright, and a past Rodeo Houston champion is on a tear yet again. He's the #1 man in the world, and he's on a bull called Barfly. What's he done this year? He already won San Antonio, adding to over $2.5 million in his career earnings from the world champion family. He's got a father who's a world champion bronc rider, Stetson Wright. Come on, Stetson. How did he get back in the middle?
Twice. I thought after the second recovery he was going to make it work, Boyd.
Well, the reason he missed all of the NFR in 23 and all of the season in 24 is he literally shredded his hamstring. And there were some doctors telling him he would never ride bulls again. But he was 89 points in Denver, 91.5 in San Antonio, and right now he's just lucky to walk away. Folks, that 25-year-old superstar, it is great to have him back at Rodeo Houston. Bull riding, it's not for the faint of heart. You cannot be somebody who scares easily and then decide to try to ride one of these beasts. You know, no matter how the ride ends, you're going to be in some form of danger. And even with the balance and control of a Stetson Wright, the bulls could still be victorious. Thank God for those fearless bullfighters as well. It can make you smile, it can make you shake your head, and we congratulate the two guys that were able to hear the 8-second whistle. Brody Erie of Texas, Mason Moody of South Dakota. The bull riding brought to you by Rock and Roll Denim.